The National Association for Latino Community Asset Builders, NALCAB, is the hub of a national network of 200 nonprofit organizations that serve diverse Latino communities in 46 states, Washington, D.C., and Puerto Rico. Since 2015, with the support of JPMorgan Chase, NALCAB has provided grants and technical assistance to over 50 Latino-serving nonprofits to develop initiatives related to affordable housing, culturally driven commercial districts, and equitable neighborhood development. NALCAB has successfully catalyzed prosperity and positive growth for Latino communities and small businesses across America. The following stories are from 4 NALCAB member organizations that showcase the incredible work our members are engaged in to uplift Latino families and entrepreneurs in the communities they serve. Tulsa, Oklahoma may not be the first city you think of as having a thriving Latino population, but the Kendall Whittier neighborhood, located just east of downtown, is indeed an established community of first and second generation Hispanic immigrants. The area, which was once on the decline in the early 2000s, began to stabilize and flourish as newly arrived immigrant residents banded together with longtime neighborhood community members and began to organize. This led to the founding of Growing Together, a nonprofit organization that focuses on affordable housing, education, and building healthy neighborhoods where residents can prosper.
Tulsa's Latino community actually has been growing substantially over the last 20 years. In fact, now they've grown so much that they're the majority population within our Tulsa public schools. And in many communities like the one that we're in now, Kendall Whittier, it's been kind of the center point of the immigrant community entering into Tulsa.
Over the past decade, Growing Together and its partners have worked alongside community members to create Tulsa's only inclusively grown neighborhood and the establishment of the Kendall Whittier Mixed Income Neighborhood Trust. Through their work in creating a high-quality education pipeline, mixed income housing at scale, and inclusive economic growth, Growing Together is focused on how to sustain and protect this inclusive growth into the future. To date, Growing Together has yielded more than 600 units of affordable housing for Kendall Whittier.
What we heard loud and clear from our neighborhood is that they wanted, in that array of housing, single-family rental. So the Kendall Whittier Neighborhood Trust attempts to do just that by purchasing properties largely from bad actors within our community, renovates them, and puts them back out onto the market.
Growing Together believes that the involvement of local and legacy residents as volunteers and organizers has been key to their collective success.
I just wanted to be involved with the community because I feel like you have to be in it if you want change, and I wanted change in my neighborhood. There's a lot of changes, like they've got the abandoned houses that are all run down, and they have fixed them up, and now the neighborhood looks a lot better, and we have people in them, so that makes our community better, and they have kids that go to our local schools too.
In response to the COVID-19 pandemic, as many Latino business owners struggled to keep their doors open, Growing Together created Avanzando Juntos, an independent nonprofit that provides access to capital, technical assistance, and mentoring for Latino entrepreneurs.
Our clients are very diverse. We have clients that are coming from the food industry, construction, and services like cleaning or party planner. We also help refer them to other organizations, other community resources.
To date, Avanzando Juntos has provided access to capital for 120 small businesses and entrepreneurs, and one-on-one mentoring to 137 small business startups. Emmanuel Lujano, owner of The Red Tacos, is one of the businesses that connected with Avanzando Juntos to help establish and grow his business.
The Red Tacos nació como una necesidad de nosotros de crear algo que fuera innovador y mexicano. Yo junto con mi familia venimos directamente desde México. Llegamos aquí a finales del 2018 y cuando llegamos a esta ciudad, a Tulsa, vimos que no había como que ese sabor tradicional de México y quisimos aportarlo a la comunidad hispana. Avanzando Juntos y Growing Together fue para nosotros una catapulta, una plataforma muy importante. Conocimos a Growing Together, Avanzando Juntos, quienes nos hicieron un préstamo para continuar abiertos, para continuar trabajando, para poder nosotros mantener este sueño de tener un negocio familiar, un negocio que nos ayudara pues a cumplir nuestros sueños.
Growing Together's focus has brought tangible change to the Kendall Whittier neighborhood and Tulsa's emerging Latino community. The Alapata Collaborative Community Development Corporation is a nonprofit organization based in one of Miami, Florida's oldest neighborhoods, also known as Little Santo Domingo, because of its historic influx of immigrants from the Dominican Republic at the start of the 1980s. Today, the area is a melting pot of first and second generation residents from the Caribbean and Latin America.
Alapata Collaborative started out of a community engagement process. We came together to build an equitable development action plan funded by NALCAB and JPMorgan Chase.
The Alapata Collaborative aims to avoid the displacement of community businesses and residents while promoting policies and practices that foster wealth building and upward mobility for those that live and work there.
We want to preserve Little Santo Domingo as a vibrant location where the American dream is alive. In order to do that, community ownership, making sure those stakeholders are able to own their storefronts and their homes so they can remain in the community, is paramount.
A key component of Alapata's strategy is its programs that ensure success for the neighborhood's small business owners with an emphasis on community ownership.
We focus on doing tailored, culturally competent training and one-on-one assistance, from starting your business to making sure that the business is resilient to owning that storefront and preparing financially.
By boosting the richness of the Dominican and Latino culture in Alapata, the area has been revived with a myriad of cultural offerings: art, food, music, traditions, consumer goods, and increased foot traffic.
A lot of our work surrounds our small businesses. Small businesses are, the anchor of communities. They're residents who own businesses, who provide jobs for other people, who contribute to the economic landscape of the community.
Alapata has assisted 6th Borough Clothing, a local store owned and operated by Julio Diaz, a Dominican-American who started the business out of a need to support his family.
My place of business is a small urban clothing store. I started it back in 2005. One day I was walking down Ocean Drive. I was looking at stores and a light bulb just flashed. And I was like, that's what I want to do. And I've been doing it ever since.
As an established business on the Little Santo Domingo commercial corridor, Julio leaned on the Alapata Collaborative for support and guidance, especially during the pandemic.
The CDC has helped me personally. The financial part is obvious, but they were a shoulder to cry on. They were somebody that was there when the country shut down. That's when I got the call. My friend Maleka, the founder of the Alapata Collaborative, she called me, she told me what she was planning to do. And, we were all stuck at home, so we didn't know what was gonna happen. And, she gave me hope.
Alapata CDC helped 6th Borough Clothing with establishing the structure of the business, including how to work with the IRS. In addition, they also helped secure grant dollars to pay back rent during the COVID shutdown. Alapata's goal is to continue preserving the identity and culture of their neighborhood by investing in its future and ensuring stability and prosperity for generations to come.
I looked at what was happening in Alapata early on, and change is here. Miami's growing fast. People are moving in and out of communities. Identities are shifting, and I really wanted to see ways that we could preserve the community that we love, the community of Alapata.
Nestled between Portland and Salem, Oregon, in the Willamette Valley, lies the community of Woodburn. With an economy that heavily relies on agriculture, Woodburn has experienced a steady influx of Latino farm workers and their families, growing the city's Hispanic population to over 56%. Farm Worker Housing Development Corporation was formed in 1990 by a group of community leaders who saw a need for affordable housing and services for low-income farm workers, workers that are of vital importance to the regional economy. The mission of FHDC is to develop farm worker leadership for stronger and more secure families and communities through affordable housing, social services, education, and economic development.
The farm worker community didn't have a place, an established place to work and live. When your house is tied to your work, if you lose your work, you lose your housing. So that became a very important subject for many organizations.
FHDC's work involves rural-focused, farm worker, and workforce housing with an emphasis on building communities and community assets so working people can attain equity and self-determination. To date, FHDC has built and maintains 12 affordable housing projects, with over 480 units available to residents who qualify. One of FHDC's most innovative initiatives is Evolve Workforce and Multifamily Housing Services. Formed in 2015, Evolve addresses socioeconomic barriers through programs like its bilingual workforce training, one-on-one coaching, career mapping, internships, and job placement in the affordable housing management and community development industries.
Evolve grew up out of the Farm Worker Housing Development Corporation based on the need to develop this career training for property managers. The idea was because after 25 years that FHDC was out building houses for the community, for farm workers, they realized that they need another organization to help them to administer the properties.
The Evolve Workforce Program has since expanded to support professional development and leadership skills for workers in related nonprofit industries, such as community organizing, asset management, and construction. Mario Ramon Carvajal and his parents moved from California to Woodburn in 2007, looking to fill the need for agricultural workers in the area and hoping to build a better life for themselves.
My parents applied and we got the apartment in 1 or 2 months. We were in so much need that we were given the opportunity for new housing and a new beginning in Oregon.
In addition to the stable housing and resources offered by FHDC, Mario applied for and was accepted into Evolve's Teach training program. Upon completion, he was offered a position as the assistant property manager at Colonia Paz in Lebanon, Oregon, one of FHDC's signature properties.
I feel very proud to say that I grew up in a community such as Nuevo Amanecer, and now working as a property manager, I'm seeing a different side of things, of how things work.
The Evolve program has graduated more than 90 participants, with the majority of graduates pursuing a career in property management or community development.
We have more people coming, accepting the program. The numbers are increasing. We want to keep growing too, offering a little more to the community. Let's create a training where these farm workers or family members can skill up and they can find a different job in their lives. They can break the cycle of poverty.
Created in 2016, Long Beach Residents Empowered, or Libre, is a grassroots tenant-led nonprofit organization that works to advance justice in disadvantaged communities through the creation and preservation of affordable housing, renter protections, and community economic development. Their mission involves shifting power dynamics to put an end to displacement and homelessness, and ensure housing as a human right for everyone who calls Long Beach home.
Long Beach is a renter-majority city. 60% of the population here are renters. Latino communities in particular tend to often live in overcrowded conditions, and 57% of Latino communities experience rent burden. So this means that 30% of their income or more goes towards their rent. So a lot of our organizing and advocacy is happening right now in Central Long Beach. So this is an area where a large Latino community lives. It's an area that's been historically disinvested in. There's lots of working class families, immigrant families there as well.
Libre is constantly innovating with new organizing models focused on policy advocacy, neighborhood-based and HUD tenant groups, and coalition work to build BIPOC tenant power and affect systemic housing justice change.
So one of our biggest organizing spaces that's active within Libre is our Neighborhood Tenant Council. So this is a space where folks who we have helped form a tenant union in their building, just tenants who are looking for some sort of support, can come together to discuss, what exactly are their rights, but also what changes do they want to advocate for in the city of Long Beach.
To assist renters in the Long Beach community, Libre hosts monthly Neighborhood Tenant Council meetings where they discuss tenant rights and a variety of issues that range from harassment, retaliation, unjust rent increases, or substandard living conditions.
A lot of the tenants that come to us don't know how to advocate for themselves, don't know what their basic rights are. Some of them don't even know that they have rights. I know one of the bigger issues that we see is when we have undocumented folks come to the neighborhood tenant councils, and it's really disheartening to hear and see that they believe that they do not have rights because of their immigration status.
Sharon Buckley is a Long Beach resident that lives in an affordable housing complex in central Long Beach. She and other renters were confronted with numerous issues that included the loss of accessible resident parking and a negligent and harassing on-site manager that had little regard for the well-being or rights of the building tenants. After Sharon reached out to Libre, they helped her form a union with other tenants known as the 21st Street Collective. Libre helped the collective understand their rights and aided in securing legal counsel to negotiate with the apartment building's management company.
We had managers that were hired, and they just harassed us so badly that people weren't coming out of their apartments. They were suffering from depression. If you dared to say anything, you were told you can leave.
Libre helped the tenants secure a meeting with the management company, who ultimately removed the harassing manager from the complex.
Libre's leadership program benefited us, not just me, it benefited everybody in the building because I was able to pass on all the fantastic information that they taught me. They knew from the program, okay, you can't do that, we can say this, we're within the rules. And management actually started showing more respect because we knew what we were talking about.
Moving forward, Libre is becoming more strategic and sustainable in their work by focusing on housing policy and advocacy that create long-lasting protection, stability, and coalition building designed to keep people in their homes. Libre has forged strong ties with local and state policymakers, as well as regional partners, to successfully lead grassroots policy campaigns to aid tenants. They are also expanding their reach to involve renters living in single-family homes, creating a community land trust in Long Beach, and developing a data analysis of housing trends.